Guys, Sean here. Sorry if the video has a little bit of poor quality. It's being taped on my cell phone. Also, I would like to thank Airsoft R-Us, which is our sponsor for the original Fast Airsoft team. This will be a video on my way of Swiss cheesing a piston. There's a lot of ways to do it, and there's a few good ones that will work. This is my personal favorite, so I'm not saying this is the way you have to do it, but this is my favorite. Also, excuse if it'll be hard to hear me over the drill press, but let's get started. First, I'm going to make probably 5 holes down here, 5 here, 6 across the middle, and 5 on each side. That's the way I do it. I use this size drill bit. I believe it's a 1660 something, 1360 something, I don't know. But just as a reference, that's how big it is compared. Alright, probably about as wide as the teeth rack. That's how big it is, just barely skinnier. But alright, let's get started. Also, you're going to want to stay away from the rear of the piston, because the closer you get to that, the more likely you are to have that snap off, and you do not want this rear support to snap off. You're also going to want to remove your piston head. Almost forgot to do that. Just in case you guys are wondering, this is a Lonex POM or POM piston head, and this is a SHS fiber reinforced purple piston. It's basically the same thing as the SHS blue, just purple. That's really all I've kind of gotten out of it. So it's a great piston head also, by the way. You also don't want them too close together, but also get them close enough to where you can put enough holes in it. You don't want them so far spread apart that you only get a few holes. I think we'll stick with 6 on this side and 6 on the other side. Alright, and we'll do some across the top and kind of jog them on each side. You'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, and now we'll jog them from the, basically just instead of all lining in like rows, they'll be, where this space is filled, they'll be on each side of them, rather than the holes all being on each side. Also, if you guys can't tell, I am terrible at explaining things, and I'm a little bit stuttery because this is my first video, so wish me luck. Alright guys, after that you'll want to either take a large drill bit like this and clear out all the shavings on the inside that are stuck in there, blow it out, or what I found really works well is taking your AEG spring and ramming it in there quite a few times, and that clears them out. But I feel spinning the sharp edges in here on the drill bit, that probably gets them out the best. But if you don't have a giant drill bit, a spring will work great. Alright, so when you're done with that, you just place your piston head back on. Oh, and magnetic screwdrivers help a lot. Also, I suggest if you're doing any high speed, high FPS, really any type of build, even if you're doing a pretty standard build, I would suggest epoxying your rack in, your tooth rack. You can slide it out. It doesn't like to budge very well, but if you slide it out, just put some epoxy, some type of very heavy-duty glue, JB Weld, and put it on the insides where it slips in. Put that in there, slip it in, and that's epoxying your rack down. Also, I would suggest putting a little bit of purple or red Loctite on the threads of your screw that goes up in your piston head, because piston head screws do have a tendency to loosen up over time, and you don't want to tighten them on too hard, so that's why you need the thread locker. Because if you tighten them on too hard, that can do damage, and if they're too loose, they'll come out and that can do damage. So you want thread locker. But here's the Swiss cheese job. Like I said, this isn't the only way to do it. I've seen people where they put 2 large holes here and cross them, 2 large holes, 2 large holes, you know. So 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and those holes are almost as big around as this. Not quite, but they're nearly that size. So that's another way to do it. This is my favorite. Look up some other videos about how to do it. Choose which way is your best option, and whatever way you think you like the best. Just make sure you don't get them too close together. Make sure you stay away from the rear tooth of the piston. Also make sure you don't get too close to these rails, because these little lips right here that you can see. Let me see if I can. These little rail looking things are what hold the tooth rack in place. Sorry if my camera's out of focus right now. Really, that's all my suggestions for you, but thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, like, all that stupid crap YouTubers do. And don't forget to check out my sponsor, AirsoftRustactical.com. Thanks, guys.